Good morning and welcome back to my channel. Today is Sunday, October 3rd, and I just got my first order, finally, on DoorDash. It is $8.75 going 3.8 miles. Let's go pick it up. So I am back in my home market after nearly 3 weeks in Champaign-Urbana, where I was able to do Grubhub, DoorDash, and Uber Eats. So being away from my home market for 3 weeks, I am very interested to see, did anything change? Did it get better? Did it get worse? I'm gonna find out today. So the good thing is that it's starting to get cloudy and it's actually supposed to start raining in about an hour or two, and it's supposed to rain all day long. So I'm hoping for that rain money, those rain tips, and I really need a successful Sunday, so I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed and hope for the best today. On my way to McDonald's, I loved seeing some of the leaves changing colors already, falling to the ground. I love everything about this time of year. October is a month of Libras and Scorpios, so let me know if I have any Libras or Scorpios watching, and happy birthday month to you. Let me know if you're busting out your opal birthstone, which I learned can represent many things such as good luck, purity, and hope. But it's also believed to be bad luck, and people call it the evil eye, or even representing death. The opal has so many different meanings on so many different websites, I'm not sure what to think of it other than it's a pretty beautiful stone. October comes from the Latin word octo, meaning 8, since it was originally the 8th month of the year when the calendar had only 10 months. Just like September, that came from the word septa, meaning 7, when it was originally the 7th month. All right, let's see if that McDonald's order is ready.
Thank you for choosing Bay Restaurant. Family may I help you?
Hi, I just have a DoorDash pickup.
I'm sorry?
I have a DoorDash pickup.
DoorDash pickup, okay. Pull up by the window, please.
Thank you. While we're waiting in this drive-thru line, let me tell you that October is the anniversary of the unveiling of the Statue of Liberty that happened on October 28th, 1886. She arrived in New York in June of 1885, but the official unveiling wasn't until October 1886. She has been standing strong for 135 years, despite how often she's destroyed in the movies. I had the pleasure of visiting the Statue of Liberty quite a few times while I lived in New York, even walking the stairs up to the top of the pedestal, which is 215 steps or about 10 stories. That was tough. Let me know if you've ever been to the Statue of Liberty.
Sir, what was yours?
It was a DoorDash. 545535. Thank you. Delivery number 2 is secured. I'm going to get it now. I'm 0.2 miles away from it. $8.25 going only 1.8 miles. That is awesome. So DoorDash for the win. I've had Uber Eats on and not one order has come through. So I don't know what's going on with Uber Eats in this market, but DoorDash, if you keep sending me stuff over $8, I'm gladly going to take it. And it looked like that first order had a $2 peak pay on it, and I didn't even notice that there was peak pay. So I don't know if this is peak pay as well, but I'll take it. I'm on my way to drop off order number 2. It wasn't ready when I walked in, so I used that to my advantage and took a bathroom break. As soon as I came back out, the order was ready. So speaking of New York, October is also the anniversary month of the first underground subway line that opened in 1904. The fare for any length ride at that time was only 5 cents, which is equivalent to about $1.44 today. It ran 9.1 miles through 28 stations, from City Hall in Lower Manhattan, up to Grand Central Terminal in Midtown, then up to Times Square, all the way up to 145th and Broadway, which is in Harlem. Today, there are 26 different subway lines and 472 stations across New York City. Happy 117 years to the New York City subway system. Some of them kind of look like they haven't been cleaned or maintained in 117 years, but just kidding. Okay guys, order number 3 just came through, $8.25 for 1.7 miles from Panera, which is where I'm headed now. All these orders coming in over $8 is reminding me of the good old days. But I still got to check if there's peak pay or not. But either way, these orders still have tips on them. So peak pay or not, I would have taken them for these low miles as well. Here we go. Walked into Panera and my order was ready ahead of schedule. Nothing better than that. I promise you this isn't an October in New York video, but I love finding out that 106 years ago on October 23rd, 1915, about 25,000 women marched along Fifth Avenue in Manhattan to advocate for their right to vote. It wasn't until 5 years later in 1920 that most women were finally able to vote. But in reality, it wasn't until the passage of the Voting Rights Act in 1965 that black women and men could vote without obstacle across all states. Looking back at some of this history and the short timelines, when you put it into perspective, made me surprised to discover that it wasn't until October 1946, only 75 years ago, that the first ever photograph was taken of Earth from space. It was taken with a DeVry 35mm black and white motion picture camera, which was attached to a V-2 rocket. It took the picture from 65 miles above Earth. This transformed the perspective of civilization, seeing how small we are in the universe and thinking of the possibilities of what else could be out there. Drop-off number 3 is done. In an hour, I'm at $25.25, and I've only driven 10 miles. That is great. Really appreciating the DoorDash peak pay, so that is helping me out quite a bit. But again, with peak pay, you always have to be careful not to take, if there's $2 peak pay and your order is $5, that means there's no tip. You know what I mean? So I can tell these orders have had a tip attached, and I would have taken them anyway because they've all been under 2 miles, which is awesome. So thank you, DoorDash peak pay. I just checked, so apparently my market has $2.50 peak pay until 2 o'clock. So that's interesting. This is my first day back in my market. I don't know if that means that a lot of drivers drop off. I mean, I'm not used to seeing $2.50 peak pay during the day. A lot of times I'll see it 9 p.m. and after, or in the middle of the night. So this is great. And I actually only declined one DoorDash so far. It was a double Walmart order for a lot of mileage, but I'm not going to do Walmart orders anyway, just my preference. So I'm liking what I'm seeing so far on DoorDash. But again, Uber Eats, maybe it's taking the day off on a Sunday and resting because I've gotten nothing. I'm surprised no Starbucks has come through on Uber Eats or anything like that. So DoorDash, let's see what you got. Well, I spoke too soon. This is perfect timing. $5.25 from Chipotle with a $2.50 peak pay. Heck no, I'm not taking that one. Even with the peak pay, $5.25 for a little over a mile is decent, but that means there's no tip attached. Nope. Fourth order is secured. $9.25 for 1.6 miles. That is great. I did have a little bit of a lull. I turned the apps off for a couple minutes and made a phone call. So it is about 12 o'clock now, and $9.25 for less than 2 miles. I will take it. Headed to the restaurant now. On my way to City Barbecue, and this has to be one of the best smelling pickups every time I get it. I hadn't eaten all day, so the smell of this delicious barbecue in my car made me stop and go take a lunch break. But bringing some October history to more recent times, it was in October 1966 that the classic It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown aired for the first time on CBS 55 years ago this month. This special was definitely a fall tradition when I was growing up, and let me know if it was one for you as well. The order for City Barbecue was just being placed on the shelf when I walked in, so perfect timing again with these pickups. I'm loving it. 28 years ago, in October 1993, the very first Got Milk ad debuted. Remember those? I remember seeing this everywhere as a kid, and seeing the ads were kind of just a way of life. I can think of other ads that seem to dominate the world, like Calvin Klein ads, Gap commercials, so on. What are some of the ads you can remember that just seem to take over the world? One more wonderful thing that debuted in October, which is a part of my childhood, was the amazing pop-up video, which popped onto VH1 in October 1996, 25 years ago. The music videos for You Learn by Alanis Morissette and Waterfalls by TLC were the first ones to get the pop-up treatment as a test, and those videos got the show greenlit for VH1. When the show finally debuted, the very first official pop-up video shown was a music video by Tina Turner for a song called Missing You. All right, well, there was a $1 hidden tip on there, which is great. Base pay $2.75, peak pay of $2.50, and customer tip of $5. So I will take it. Now I'm at $35.50 for about a little over an hour of work. This is much better than it's been. So, you know, it's a Sunday. Haven't done this market in 3 weeks. I don't know. I'm not going to get excited yet because today could just be a fluke. So we will see. After about a week of me being back, I'll be able to tell if my market is back in action or is it still kind of slow and dead. So we will see. And if you guys made it this far in the video, I thank you so much for watching. Please be safe out there, take care, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.